Yo, EM World Media back again, and I wanted to discuss this topic with Donald Trump meeting with President, Supreme Minister, dictator, whoever he is, Vladimir Putin from Russia, to discuss the Ukraine ceasefire with Russia. Here's what messes me up when it comes to this. What made y'all think Donald Trump had any power to end the war between two countries when one of the country's presidents is not even there to represent himself? This is what I'm starting to notice about y'all, bro. Y'all put, which is a good thing for Donald Trump because at least we know we got a president. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with everything Donald Trump do and his policies and his comments, even his snark ass attitude sometimes. He come off as a douchebag, but I noticed this dude gets the most flack from everybody in the world, bro. They don't hold no bars against Donald Trump at all, bro. They expect him to be Jesus Christ in the flesh. They expect him to be like the world savior, bro. They want him to just, all right, man, well, you talk a lot of game, man, so go ahead, just end World War III. It's crazy, bro. But you know, heavy is the head that wears the crown, bro. Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump have this private meeting, right? Who knows what they discuss for real, for real. We just on the outside looking in. We really don't know what these powerful men actually discuss in privacy. We don't know the inner workings of what the countries actually do when it comes to dealings and negotiations and things of that nature, bro. They did their little private meeting. It was released to the public that was no deal for the ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia, according to Donald Trump. And his exact quotes was, "Won't be a deal until there's a deal done." Who knows what that means? The thing about this politics stuff is it's live television. It's entertainment for us. How deep the rabbit hole really goes, we shall never know, bro. We shall never know how deep this rabbit hole really goes, bro. A lot of things that are probably off camera that are even major to these nations that we don't know anything about. Trump said he was going to have a sit down with President Zelensky of Ukraine, to have further discussions about this ceasefire. I think the sit down with Zelensky will be more of a official conversation between the two. Zelensky and Putin are the ones who need to sit down. Even as we speak, with all these negotiations going on between Putin and Donald Trump, still getting cracking in Ukraine and Russia right now as we speak. That's not stopping nothing that's going on over there, bro. None of that stuff is ending anything that is going on over there. People need to actually realize this sit down is just step one of a process to our knowledge. Step one of a process to our knowledge to actually get this deal done, to have a ceasefire between the two nations. People really got to stop with the, oh man, hey, Donald Trump, you said you was gonna stop it in one day, bruh. He's bullshitting. You know he's bullshitting. He's just talking. Donald Trump is chauvinistic, narcissistic, and he's a little bit delusional at times. Trust and believe, even through his narcissism, bro, he's a great marketer, bro. He knows how to keep his name in the media. He knows how to be in the middle of things that really have nothing to do with him. But it keeps y'all talking about him. Every single day, we will never forget for a minute or second of the day who is the president of the United States. I can't say the same about the last one, bro. He's in the mix of everything, bro. For worse or good, he's gonna be a villain, bro. That's his role. He's the villain. He is our villainous president. You know what I mean? But with all that being said, I just come on, guys. Like this is America. Not to sound sarcastic, but this is America, man. This is the stuff that happens here, bro. Like it's not. It's not gonna happen just like that, bro. But in other news, we gotta pay attention to this China and U.S. tariff truce expiring today. This is what I call universal timing right here. This is what I call universal timing, because the day after he meets with Putin, the truce between U.S. and China's tariffs expires. You gotta pay attention to how these things are done, bro. Really think that meeting has nothing to do with China too? Russia and Ukraine are going at it, but it's us and China who got the major beef, bro. It's us and China who got the major beef. And who is China's number one ally? Ding, 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 ding. Russia. You guessed it. You guessed it. Russia, bro. These things are deeper than rap, bro. All this stuff is deeper than rap. The rabbit hole could go on and on and on. And even with me talking, I probably don't even know 25% what's going on in the world, bro. But just from my knowledge of what I'm seeing, it's all linked together. All this stuff, China, Russia, Ukraine, United States, all these places, they linked in one big old scheme. Don't get fooled with this Vladimir and Donald Trump sit down thing. This is just buying time for other things, bro. Let the two main characters of that war talk to each other. Donald Trump ain't got nothing to do with either one of them, bro. He's just a middleman, bro. He's a face. He marketed himself even within the war, bro. He marketed himself even within in the war. That's what he does. He's an entrepreneur. He's a shark. He knows how to get in the middle of everything, and that brings him more. That brings him more investors and stuff like that of that nature. This ain't Donald Trump is not like a Gandhi or something, or some great martyr that could just stop the war with his clouds coming out of the heavens and say, let there be peace. Not happening. Not happening. But he's making things happen with his connections to Vladimir Putin to actually bring him to the country and make things happen on a global scale for everybody to see. So if he sits down with Zelensky, he sits down with Putin and put those two together and actually have them talk, then at that point we'll be actually getting somewhere. But Donald Trump talking to Putin and being like, yeah, you stop the war or else. Like, come on now, be serious. Not happening. The tariff truce expiration is going to be the key to everything, bro. Y'all pay attention to that. But like, comment, subscribe. That's the end of the story. Y'all tell me if I'm just BSing or y'all agree with any of my takes. Give y'all opinions. I'm welcome for all takes down there in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. Blase, blase, blase. Peace.